Good evening. Welcome to So Into Bourbon. We have another exciting episode for you tonight. Charlie, tell them what we're doing.
Tonight, we're getting a little old. Baker's 13 Single Barrel.
Okay, so Baker's 13. It's a single barrel. It's a limited edition. This was initially introduced in 2019.
And it went away for a while, right?
It did. This is only the second release, so I'm pretty excited about this.
I am what the kids say, jazzed.
Yeah, so Baker's originally was released as a 7-year.
It's true.
Right.
Well, there's the original Baker's,
Which was a small batch, right?
which was, and if I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
hold on,
pulling out surprises.
Glenn, keep the people entertained because
Okay, I will. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this bottle. It's 107 proof, obviously 13-year age statement. The mash bill is undisclosed, but
could be a lot of different things.
it's rumored to be either A, the original Jim Beam mash bill, which is 75 13 12, or maybe just a little bit different, 77 13 10. We're not sure which. It could be something that's not either of those.
It's undisclosed.
It's undisclosed.
There you go. But this is what Baker's used to look like.
Yes.
And if you've been around for a while, you've seen this beautiful wax top, aged 7 years, 107 proof. I mean, it is what you expect from.
Looks like a Booker's bottle.
It looks like a
small
Booker's
version
bottle.
of a Booker's
Absolutely.
bottle.
And then that became this, the Baker's 7. And this is a 7-year single barrel, which is actually 8 years and 6 months. And you know what I'm thinking we should do?
What should we do, Charlie?
We should maybe have a control, because it's not every day that you get to drink something 13 years old, because you're in some rarefied air there. So let's compare.
Are
would
you
assume
suggesting that we taste the 7-year first?
I am suggesting we taste the 7-year, because
Okay.
one of the things that is awesome about bourbon is when you have something like this, we can compare color, we can compare nose, and we can compare taste, and the only difference is going to be age. So one's 8 years, 6 months, and one is a minimum of 13. What do you say to that?
I say I'm ready to do it. So let me just finish telling them a little bit more about this.
Okay.
MSRP is $129.99 on this one. If you can find it. I actually paid $120 for this at Meijer. Got lucky one day.
That's right.
This is barrel number 224729 for those who care.
Write that down.
I don't know why you would, but well, and it does matter because it's a single barrel and not
That's true
every
too.
barrel is going to taste
And-
the same, right?
And also, can we talk about presentation?
Talk about the presentation.
Every Booker's has a unique, has a unique cap, and there are 4 different ones, and they are beautiful, and they all say something different and have a different pattern. And this one has a little lead dingly-doodad
Well,
with the
I was
release.
just joking when I
and
said it was lead. Hopefully
Age
it's not
13,
lead.
and it has the barrel number on it. It's not lead, it's metal, whatever. Let's drink lead.
You know what? Yeah.
What?
Never mind.
You could cut it and make a little
So-
friendship bracelet.
You know what? Let's go ahead and sample the Baker's 7.
Which is 8 years and 6 months.
8 years, 6 months.
So let's compare real quickly.
Yeah, let's.
When they're sitting there, it looks like there's a substantial difference. There is a difference.
There is a difference, but when you hold it up to the light, it's not as much.
Red.
Right.
Do you get a little red?
Yeah.
Like that's what I
looked-
see. It's
yeah.
not darker. It's just more red, which I think is beautiful. So this bottle is been around for a while, by the way, and it's been open for a while. This is
What year is that?
Well, it was barreled in 2011. 8 years later,
Okay,
yeah, 2019. So I've been sipping
Got a
on it
nice
for a while.
nose on it, very reminiscent of a higher proof Knob Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of alcohol,
Your
just
classic,
enough.
classic bourbon.
Yep, kind of sweet bourbony goodness, sweet corn. Cheers. A little sip there.
Cheers. It's really good. A lot of vanilla. Very smooth.
I get
Smooth.
smooth. I one of the things I love about the Bakers is the proof is, there's something about Bakers and Bookers that the proof is proofy enough where you're like, oh yeah, that's proofy, but also proofy enough where you're like, more of that.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't like make you want to hurl.
It's just proofed perfect.
Yeah.
It's mellow. It's got great classic bourbon character to
Dude,
it.
I get. There's like a Boston cream pie flavor on this.
It's very good. It's a very good bottle, and that's why I bought it. And I want to say I paid like $39.99 or $49.99 for it.
Yeah, you can find, at least here, I can find these Baker's 7s all day long. Mm-hmm. I'm going to save some of this.
Yeah.
So I can come back
That's
to
good.
it.
That's good. I'm going to take a sip of water.
Palate cleanse here.
I'll tell you, it's amazing, and I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's amazing how dark the Baker's 13 looks comparatively, but when you hold them up to the light, it's just
well,
a
I think it's
different
the
shade
angle
of
that we're
red.
looking at it when it's sitting on the bar here. But it's definitely significantly darker. So let's tell them a little bit about who Baker is. Are you curious to know?
Sure.
What are
No,
you
go
doing?
ahead. No, go ahead. I'm just holding it.
All right. So Booker No. Everyone knows who Booker No
If
is.
you don't,
right? If you don't, Google
educate
it.
yourself.
He named Baker's after his cousin, Baker Beam,
Baker Beam.
who was the grandnephew of none other than Jim Beam.
Who's Jim Beam?
Just some guy.
Never heard of him.
So yeah, after Baker retired from Jim Beam, Booker named this after him. And according to Baker's website, Baker was a truck driving, motorcycle riding, bourbon loving, hard working whiskey man.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
And now we're going to drink some of his
Now we're
13-year-old
gonna drink
bourbon. Puts a nice ring around the glass.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of cling, but it puts a ring at the top of it. Not super viscous.
Did we talk about proof?
10-
107.
They're all 107. Yep, they're all 107.
So one more fact about this is
Make it a quick one.
these barrels are supposedly aged higher in the rickhouse, which for a more advanced aged bourbon, that's usually not the case. Usually they're rotated to the bottom.
Right. A lot more angel share loss there.
Yeah.
Yep. Totally different nose.
I think it's similar, but it's more. To me, it's got more of a burnt sugar.
If it's similar, it's just that turned up like
Yeah, it's
40%.
It's deeper, and I know
100%.
that's not very descriptive, but that's the only way
Yeah.
I can describe it. Is just a deeper.
A nice amount of ethanol there. And again, it's something about Bakers and Bookers, like you don't mind it. Mm-mm. Like it's like, oh, that's good. You like, I want that. Like it's so much part of the character. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some burnt sugar. I don't get as much sweet corn on it. I get a lot of
more
kind
of a
sweetness and
darker fruit.
yeah, dark cherries. Oh, I'm so excited. Cheers.
Cheers. That's really good. You know, I feel like this is one of those cases where the extra years in the barrel really helped to round it out and add some complexity and some depth of flavor. Our new favorite word.
Depth of flavor. You spot on. I mean, first drink, as soon as it hits your mouth, it doesn't swirl around like it has a viscosity, but it has a different mouthfeel.
Definitely, yeah.
And
for sure.
It coats your palate in a way that, like, you know, I kind of get some spiciness to it, but it's on the sides of my tongue, and this is going to sound weird, and the roof of my mouth.
Yep.
Like it just saturates your whole mouth. And the finish, I took one drink and I was going to go back for a second, but I'm like, I'm going to kind of stay with this and see how long it lingers. Still kind of tasting it, even after a minute. I mean, so good.
Man, that's really good. Cherry. Almost like if you can imagine a vanilla / cherry Coke.
Yeah. Cherry vanilla Coke. That's a great one. Man.
Oh, do they have it? Cherry vanilla
cherry
Coke?
vanilla Coke.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to imagine it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't drink soft drinks.
Yeah, that's spot on. A cherry vanilla Coke.
That's really good. And the oak it's all on the finish.
All on the finish. And there is a lot of oak character.
There is.
But it is.
And it's a good oak character.
The oak character lingers. So one of the things that I don't like, and I have talked about this in previous episode, my sweet spot is, and don't hate me and send hate mail, 4 to 7 years old. There are some 8, 9, and 10, usually on 13 and 14 year stuff. I'm like, because a lot of times you're just left with oak character and you lose a lot of that nuance, that kind of sweet and the fruit. This has that tingle that lingers through the oakiness. So you're not left with that kind of oaky, dry palate. It's such a nice, like, it's very good. It's very good for a 13-year bourbon, which is, you're in some rarefied air at 13 years old.
Especially these days.
Especially these days.
I'm getting a little nuttiness, which I don't usually, that's not a note that I usually pick up on. And I know Knob Creek and Jim Beam is kind of notorious for that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a note you care for too much.
Well, I don't get it in a lot. That's one of those things I don't pick up a lot. Old Ezra 7-year barrel proof, I get peanuts on that a lot, which I really like. I don't get the nutty, and maybe that's what it is. I just get like classic, sweet, spicy, that kind of dried fruit, and after 3 drinks in, 4 drinks in, that oakiness, but the way my tongue tingles on the sides is so interesting, because usually, like when I have like a high rye or something and I get that tickle on my tongue, it's all like in the middle part of my tongue or maybe on the front. This is on the sides and on the roof of my mouth. I really like this bottle.
Yeah, it's a great bottle. The 7 is great too. If you can't get your hands on the 13, it's a limited edition, grab the 7. It's well worth it. I think when you talk about a Jim Beam, you talk about a Knob Creek, you talk about a Baker's and a Booker's, what you're expecting from those is just a good old-fashioned, straight-up bourbon.
One of these,
yeah,
right in your face hole.
And that's what this is.
100%.
Except it's not off-putting. It's not harsh, anything like that. It's well-rounded.
Well, let me go one step. If you are, this is going to appeal to a barrel-proof bourbon drinker, neat, drop of water, maybe a big cube. If you are I don't want to be derogatory here. If you're like a 90, 94 proof, if you're a Blanton sipper, this may not be in your wheelhouse, which is fine. But if you want like a bourbon, if you want to get on the bourbon roller coaster, that's the bourbon roller coaster.
Check it out
right there.
If you can find one, buy it.
That's a buy all the live long day.
I'm going back to the 7-year here for a second.
I'm not. I'm going to stay with the 13 because it's enjoyable. But
well, I'm kind of curious to see how this stands up after. I'm not drinking water or anything, so I'm just going to see how it stands up.
I will tell you this about Jim Beam, Baker's, Booker's. One of the great things about bourbon, and one of the things that I find, it's hard not to be romantic about bourbon. Same distillery, same barrel, same mash bill.
I wish I had $1 for every time you said it.
intents and purposes. It's hard
not to be romantic about bourbon.
I do not like Knob Creek. I have never had a Knob Creek where I'm like, man, I would drink that bottle. I've never drank a Knob Creek bottle all the way through. I've given them away, whatever.
I've been the benefactor.
He has. He 100%
Would that be the, or would that make you the benefactor?
Beneficiary.
Beneficiary.
It's the word
He's
you're
the
looking
benefactor.
for. But do I love Bakers? Yes. Do I love Bookers? Yes. Do I like Jim Beam? Yeah, I kind of do like Jim Beam. It's amazing that you can just change one thing, which we were talking about this off camera. As I think it's the char on the barrels, or maybe the location of them. But that's a great bottle. I really enjoy that.
It's a
bottle.
great bottle, and I think it tells you a little bit about the fact that they released it in 2019 and didn't release it again until 2013, which tells me, maybe they went in and tasted it and it just wasn't what they wanted.
There. Or they just didn't have enough 13-year-old stuff.
I choose to.
Yeah.
I would rather believe that Booker went into the warehouse and tasted his stock and said, "No, this is not good enough for the market.
Is that what Booker No sounds like?
Throw it away."
That's what Booker No sounds like. Booker, if you're watching, we're sorry.
That's not what
And
Booker
send us
No
some
sounds
stuff.
like.
What I will tell you is this bottle, I love everything about it. I think the price point, $120, $130, spot on. It also makes me a little sad because I think we are getting to the point where this is becoming rarer and rarer and rarer. And we will lose something from there. And when you do see it, it will be heavily allocated. Your favorite store will get 2 bottles and it'll be $400. There is a place for really well executed, older, aged bourbon, and this is a great one. And it makes me sad. I wish we had more offerings like this.
I feel like 2023 is a year of 13-year-old bourbons. You've got the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, which is 13 years old. You had the Russell's Reserve 13.
Which is unbelievable. Oh my gosh,
what the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged
is 11. It's a blend of 11 and 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah,
Close enough.
Close enough. Yep. Yeah, but I hope that continues. I hope that the distilleries and the brands are kind of stockpiling those and going to get us some more aged stuff. But this is what bourbon's all about. This is kind of the pinnacle, not the pinnacle, but what bourbon can be just in terms of flavor profile and what it is. A great bottle.
Absolutely. Charlie, I think we've said all we can say about this. Tell them what to do. God, I'm with this mouthful.
You should like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on our socials. Glenn, tell them what our socials
So
are.
Into Bourbon on Facebook and Instagram, Whiskey Realtor on TikTok. And as always,
keep your wallets loose
and your bone holes tight.
Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
God bless you, Booker No.
Oh, we didn't rate it.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think we should rate it.
No, we can't.
I can edit it in, yeah.
It's fine.
I can edit it in.
It's fine. It's fine. There it goes.
You know, this is lead.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
I know.
So
They say if you like drop it down into the bourbon, let it kind of soak for a while, it really adds some character and texture to it.
I've been pouring a little more. I feel like I feel like it's helped.
It's helped.
Well, I was gonna say for tastings, but that's a little heavy there.
And maybe your laptop too. I guess that's been in the frame the whole time too. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, gosh,
One of these days,
we're not gonna win any daytime Emmys with my
details count, Charlie. Details count.
That go
Good job, you idiot.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I said we got some good whiskey tonight, boys.
Truck driving, motorcycle riding, bourbon loving, hardworking whiskey man. Baker's 13. Take. Who cares? Nobody's watching.